All right, good to see you. Okay, as St. Mary's is taking their seats, we'll ask you again to please raise your hand. We'll have 2 microphones on each side. And when we do come to you, please identify yourself by name and by media affiliation. We'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Bennett and then open it up for questions for our student athletes.
We beat a good team tonight. They have a good program. They've been good for many years, so they have a lot of tradition, and they're hard to put away. So we couldn't put them away. We were up 15. They cut it back to 2 like in 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So we're happy to get this one done. I was pleased with how we rebounded. That was the key going in this game. We did a pretty good job there. We didn't do a good job on their guard, Lewis, and we didn't do a good job stopping their transition. But fortunately, we did a really good job rebounding.
Thank you, Coach. Okay, we'll open up for questions for our student athletes. Right here, please.
Yeah, Coach, you alluded to that. They cut it down. It was a 15-point lead at halftime. They cut it down to 2 points. What was kind of said in the huddle that after that kind of helped weather that storm?
Nothing really. I mean, our guys, we have good leadership. Our guards they have great composure. Calvin did a good job. Jock made some plays there, but nothing really. There's nothing specific that was said. We just knew we had to take care of the ball and do a better job defensively, and we were able to get a little separation again, and then we pretty much kept it there. So I thought we did a really good job handling their pressure. I don't even know what our turnover count was. I know we had 8 in the first half, but I thought second half we did a pretty good job there. They just keep coming. They're quick and they're aggressive, and we had to hang on to the ball and make free throws and try and execute against the changing defenses.
Okay, right now we are taking questions for our student athletes, so we'll go right here to this reporter right here.
Joe, Chris Comrani with the Salt Lake Tribune. Did you have to convince Coach in the second half to put you back in with 4 fouls with about 11 minutes left? That's a lot of clock left.
I tried to convince him to not take me out in the first place. But, yeah, it was kind of hectic. You kind of pick up the fourth foul on the offensive foul, and you go right into immediate timeout, I think. And I think half of us didn't even know that was my 4th foul. So it was a little hectic, and being a fifth-year senior, kind of you've been through a bunch of situations. So I didn't have to say anything to him. He threw me back in there. He trusted me, and as a player, that's the greatest compliment you can have from your coach is they have faith in you to go out there and play smart and play the right way and just try to get it done. So I was itching to get back out there, and kind of my experience helped me out with how to play with 4 fouls. So I was able to do that, and my teammates helped me out a ton on the defensive end and just try to be smart.
Right here, Dirk.
Dirk Facer, Deseret News. Jock, you had a double-double tonight. Can you talk about how important the rebounding was and talk about maybe the success you had on the boards?
Yeah, that was one of our big focuses going into tonight. We know that their 2 bigs are huge on the offensive rebounding, and I think they get like 6 or 7 O-boards a game between the 2 of them. So that was a huge focus, was just keeping them off their offensive glass, and the ball just kind of dropped my way for most of the night. And yeah, they did a good job of keeping us off the O-boards as well. So that was definitely a huge focus going into tonight, because we knew that majority of their points came from transition and offensive rebounding. So we just had to cut that out, and we did.
Kareem Copeland, AP, for any of the guys. How were you guys able to handle that pressure so well for most of the game? I know it got slippery a little bit there at the end, but for most of the game, you guys were able to handle that. What did you guys do to be able to?
Okay, we'll have Calvin answer that first, please.
Go for it, Calvin.
I got you, man.
Sorry.
I'd say, like, our team's just so tight, and, in situations like that, like even when Coach was talking about when they cut it to 2, like, it wasn't, like, a lot said. We just got, tougher, tighter together, and we play so well together, and tonight was just another example, just under pressure. We just got tight and made sure we take care of the ball, and we had great leadership, great talk, and did a good job to close out the game.
Okay, Joe, if you have something to add.
Oh, yeah, and it's press break's something we work on every day. Every day in practice, we work on our press break. So you're kind of ingrained to be in the right spots and just read and react. Having everyone back from last year kind of really experienced, really tight playing together, like Calvin said, and that kind of helped us through it. And we've been through situations like this before. It's kind of had a feel to earlier in the year when we were at Dayton. Kind of the same thing happened, and we learned from that. And I think they cut it to 2, and we were able to use our experience and kind of respond. And in terms of breaking the pressure, the press break we do 5-on-0 every day in practice for sure helped with that a lot.
Okay, any more questions for our student athletes? Okay, right there, please.
As for Calvin, you had those 8 straight points at one point, and the last one was in that dunk. Did you know that was your plan going in, or when did you decide to go for the dunk there?
Yeah, when I saw Emmett and we kind of made eye contact, and he threw the ball up to me in that situation, and I just saw the open court in front of me, and I thought, I just got to get up there and put it down as quick as I can because I knew the shot blocker was coming. So, yeah, he couldn't catch up, and turned out to be a nice play.
All right, with that, we will excuse our student athletes. Congratulations, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good job, guys.
And now we'll open up for questions for Coach Bennett. Dirk.
Dirk Fraser, Deseret News Guy. Coach, can you just talk about Jock and he put up the double-double tonight, and maybe just specifically the job he did on the boards tonight?
Yeah, Jock was huge on the boards. Like, they're very good. If they can tip it loose, if they can, get a tip out, they're so quick to the ball. They get those, and we knew that going in. Jock's a good rebounder himself, and he was able to get those clean in a crowd, and that took care of that. So he was. Jock did a great job. He did a good job defensively too. We limited their starting bigs. I think they got a total of 8 or 9 points on the game between them. So he was a huge factor in that game. He never came off the court. Fortunately, the timeouts are long, so I think you can play more minutes in these games. But he was good, and that's where he was. He was good in the post too, especially early. He got us a lead, and then but all throughout the whole game, he just kept pulling the boards, and so he was key in that game.
Okay, right back there.
Vic from the Chronicle, San Francisco. What was going through your mind during their run when Joe was out of the game? They won a 13-2 run. What were you seeing out there?
I was seeing Joe wasn't out there, so that was a problem. And I was just trying to figure out how long we could go before I had to put him back in. So I rolled the dice. And Joe's a really smart player. I knew he wasn't going to make a dumb foul, and I wanted to try and play from the lead. We were able to move him off Lewis. And that's what we had to do. We had to put him on. We tried to put him on whoever we thought was the least likely to try and make a play or draw a foul. And so it ended up working, and he and Emmett did a pretty good job controlling the game. Although I was about to strangle Emmett when he threw the one out of bounds. I don't know what he was thinking, but anyhow, they were good. They were good. That's hard to play against. That pressure is hard to play against.
Okay, right there. Mike?
Yeah, Mike Swartzen, Deseret News. Can you just talk about the play of your bench, particularly Krebs in the first half? He already had a career high.
Krebs was huge. He played really well. We had foul trouble first half. Joe had 2, Dane had 2, and Calvin had 2. And Tanner came in and he was outstanding. His free throws, made shots. I thought he really helped us defensively. He's a good defender. So we tried. Yeah, we didn't play him as much second half. It was pretty tight with our rotations, but he was key. Dane was key off the bench, and I played him most of the second half just because of defense. I thought that we started him. I thought it'd be hard for them to make a run on us with him in there. And we actually, 16-minute mark, we were still at 15, so we were doing all right. And then Joe got that quick third and fourth foul, and it kind of threw us off a little bit. But fortunately, those guys are really, really experienced, mature, good leaders, and they're able to hang in there and keep their composure.
Coach Randolph Fairbairn, KSL. Will you prepare a lot differently with the quick turnaround? I mean, in conference you do this pretty quickly in a few days, but will there be much difference in your preparation for the next game?
It'll be just like conference. I mean, you're pretty much on the clock. You have about 48 hours, just like conference. So our guys are used to it. I mean, obviously you would want more time, but that's just the way it is. You play Thursday, Saturday. So we should be good. We'll go watch, see who wins this game. Most likely Arizona, and as soon as we find out, we'll start preparing for them.
Okay, Vic?
You guys have pretty balanced scoring. Does a guy like Calvin know when to assert himself, or how does he kind of ebb and flow with the offense a little bit?
I wish, Calvin didn't get off to a good start tonight, I didn't think. Not right away. He got in foul trouble, so he didn't play a lot. But he eventually gets aggressive in a game. Like, sometimes it's right away. I think he's got a good feel there, and he lets the game come to him. But he's, I don't know, he's just a basket maker. He was key for us in that stretch in the second half when we were able to extend the lead again. So I kind of leave him alone. I just try and stay on him about playing hard, rebound. I didn't think he rebounded well tonight. So offensively, I just let him get his feel as far as when he has opportunities and when he doesn't.
Okay, we have time for one more question for Coach. Okay. Coach, congratulations, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
we'll begin the VCU press conference. First, we'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Wade, and then it'll open for questions for our student athletes. Coach Wade.
Well, first off, there's no shame in losing to St. Mary's. They're a tremendous, tremendous team, both offensively and defensively. As we've done all year, I thought our guys fought extremely, extremely hard. I mean, we're really, really tough to knock out, and they couldn't quite knock us out. But we could never get over the hump and get the lead in the second half or get it tied. We got it to 2. And could never get over the hump. I thought the free throw blockout was critical, where they missed. Landale missed both the free throws, and we missed. We didn't check the shooter, and then I think Rayhan got fouled, and then it was a 4-point game. We came down and missed a layup. I thought that was a critical sequence. But our guys fought, man. I can't say enough about our seniors to get us in position to get back here for the 7th straight time. It was a good year. Disappointing anytime you end it, but I'm proud of our guys. I'm proud of our program, and we'll be back hopefully soon. So, but give St. Mary's credit. They're a tremendous team.
Thank you, Coach. Okay, we'll open up for questions for our student athletes. Right down over here.
RJ Beatty, rushthecourt.net, for Jaquan or Jordan. What makes St. Mary's so difficult to defend now that you've actually been out on the floor with them?
Just different variables to their offense, 3-point shooting, great big man inside. I mean, they throw it inside, and you got to lock out on all the shooters, and then it's just one-on-one for him. He's already 7 foot, so it's not, when he gets close to the basket, it's not that difficult for him to score. So it's all around good offensive team.
Jaquan, would you like to add anything to that?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Jordan pretty much said it all. I mean, they're a really good offensive team. They do a good job of playing their pace, and they don't really let teams speed them up. They didn't really let us speed them up today. They move the ball phenomenally on offense. They get us scrambling around. They use the whole shot clock. You know, they'll pass up a good shot for a great shot, and that's what they hurt us at.
Right here, Mike.
Just for either one of you, you guys had a lot of fouls tonight. You had 3 guys foul out. Was that frustrating to you guys at all?
Yeah, it's frustrating, but I mean, they were playing hard. I don't think any foul was really lazy. You know, they were just trying to make a play and be aggressive. You know, that's what we build our team around, being aggressive. And I mean, I feel like for the most part, they left it all out there.
Any more questions for our student athletes? Okay, thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations on your season. Now we'll open up questions for Coach Wade. Right here.
Coach, can you just talk about Jaquan's effort tonight? It seemed like there were at least 2 or 3 times where he went down with something that might have taken a regular player out of the game, and it didn't in his case.
Yeah, he's a warrior. I mean, he's been wounded, and he's been hurt basically the last month of the season here, just banged up. I mean, we've ridden him. He's the one guy who's been our most consistent guard. He's the one guy who's made shots for us all year. I don't know how much you've seen us this year, but I mean, we have just ridden him, and I mean, you see, we don't always play. We don't always play smart, but we play extremely hard. There's not many teams that play much harder than we do, and to play 33, 35 minutes a night like he does, playing that hard and flying around and getting after it, it's not easy to do. And I mean, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. He's hit some huge free throws for us all season. He's hit some big shots for us all season, and I love the kid to death, and I'm going to miss him. But he's got a bright future, both on and off the basketball court. But he was a warrior tonight. He didn't want to go home. I thought Burgess was the same way. Burgess has played really well for us down the stretch. The last month of the season has probably been his best basketball of his career here at VCU. And really, really proud of him. So proud of all of our seniors.
Okay, right here.
Coach, can you talk about the effort from Ahmed Hamdi and just what he brought to keep you guys in it?
Yeah, I mean, the difference in the game simply is you know, when you get to this level of play, you've got to have very, very good big guys. And their bigs were just bigger and better than our bigs. I mean, at the end of the day, I hate to be so simplistic, but that's really, at the end of the day, what it was. But Hamdi, as you guys know who follow us, Matt, he gives us the best opportunity to score down there. He's the one guy who can really wheel and deal down there. But it was obvious early in the game the only way we were going to score bigs-wise was just on dump-offs and playing behind and just kind of garbage baskets down there. But we were able to get Hamdi matched up on Pinot, which was what we were hoping to do when we played Hamdi and Mo together, and we thought that was a matchup that favored Hamdi. And, you know, he played really, really well, and you know, hopefully this will be a good springboard for him.
Go ahead.
Like you said, Burgess has really stepped up the past couple of weeks. Can you talk a little bit about that, kind of what got him going?
Yeah, I mean, I just think he's a senior, and you know, sometimes when you're a senior, you get a little tight towards the end, and I think he just really, you know, got excited and said, hey, you know what, we're going to make the most of this and do the best we can, and really, really get after it, and Jordan did that. I'm really, really proud of him. I thought he played extremely well today, driving the ball, being aggressive, and he just had a tremendous end of the season for us.
Okay, right here.
Coach, you've got 5 guys in that locker room that have just played their last college game. What do you say to these guys after this, and just how do you deal with all that emotion?
I mean, you know, first off, I thanked them. I mean, you know, they gave it all we had this year. I was telling somebody the other day, and I'm not taking a knock on anybody, but you know, this was our 7th straight NCAA tournament appearance. Next to that team we took to the tournament after the Final Four, this was probably the weakest of the bunch. The team we took the year after the Final Four, that was Coach Smart. He was a magician to get that group in. But this group was, you know, we had some real limitations and deficiencies, and our guys, man, they fought through it and battled, and I'm really proud of those seniors. It wasn't the easiest year, and you know, we battled through, and we had to bring some of these young guys along, and it wasn't always an easy process. But I think our guys did a really, really nice job, and I'm really proud of those guys, and I let them know that and thanked them. I mean, 2 of those guys are 5th-year seniors. That's a long time to be doing it. They're going to both have graduate degrees when they leave here, and hey, that's what it's all about. I'm proud of them. You know, Tori's already graduated. The 2 of Burgess and Mo are going to have graduate degrees, and Jay and Doug graduate in the spring. So that's what you want. That's what you want, and they've done it all, and they've grown, and really proud of them. And you know, we got to get these other guys better so we can try to get back.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike Sorensen, Deseret News. There was a big disparity in foul shots. I mean, they had a lot more than you did, and you had their season high in fouls. I just wondered, is that more of just your aggressive play generally, or is
Well,
they call it closer in the NCAA?
No, I think typically I don't think they call it as close in the NCAA. But, you know, tonight, you know, there's good fouls and bad fouls. I think we wasted too many fouls. We had some reach-ins at the end of shot clocks. We just wasted. We didn't get enough bang for our buck on some of our fouls, and so I thought that really hurt us. Now, I mean, the disparity in fouls also. We fouled for the last 2.5 minutes of the game, basically nonstop, and they were shooting 2 shots every time. So that makes up for part of it. But I was disappointed, and I thought the difference in the first half, to answer your question somewhat, is our goal for the game was to be plus 10 from the foul line, and they were 10 for 10 from the foul line in the first half, and then we gave them 12 points off turnovers, and you know, we only gave them 3 of those in the second half because we limited our turnovers. I thought that really was the difference when we turned the ball over and they went and scored, And, I mean, when you turn the ball over against them, they're a tremendous defensive team, but they're a positional defensive team. They're not trying to turn you over. That's not the basis of their defense like ours is. And we turned them over 15 times. That's enough to beat them. But, you know, we were giving them the ball. The 2 baseline drift passes were huge that they picked off, the 2 hammer plays. So that was big. And difference in the game was obviously the free throw line in the first half and then their points off turnovers. I thought that really did us in. Wasn't enough for us to overcome.
Coach, at the beginning of the year, you said this team wasn't always going to be pretty, but they were going to be tough. How do you think they lived up to your expectations at the beginning and how they surprised you?
What do you think? Pretty tough group. Pretty tough group. I mean, we wouldn't be here if we weren't tough. Got a good way about us. I mean, you can never knock us out. You can never knock us out. I knew we were going to come back when it was 15 at half. I knew we were going to get this thing where we had a fighting chance, and our guys knew that. And we've done that all year long, with the exception of the one game. I mean, every game has been an absolute dogfight. Even some nights probably when it didn't deserve to be a dogfight. But, you know, that's a good, we got good fiber, and that's the culture and the fiber of our program. So you don't ever want to lose that.
Okay, Vic.
Vic Tafer from the San Francisco Chronicle. You had a 13-2 run. Was there a sense of here we go, and why weren't you able to build off that run, you think?
Well, the free throw blockout killed us. It was a 2-point game. Landale missed both the free throws. We don't check the shooter. They get the offensive rebound. That was a huge, huge sequence. Then we come down and miss a layup. Contested layup. It was good. I mean, it was a good defense. That to me was, if we get that rebound and have the ball down 2, coming down, I think it's a totally different game. I thought that was a huge, huge sequence in the second half.
Hermanson had 8 points for those guys in a row. He's kind of like the secret weapon for those guys, kind of the unsung hero on that team, Hermanson?
I think he's a good player. I think all their guys are good players. I think the kid Rayhan doesn't get enough credit. I think he's tremendous. Has great pace to him, good body, and I mean, they're as good as I've seen at stringing out ball screens and playing off ball screens. They're tremendously well coached with really good personnel. But Hermanson, I mean, he's more than just a shooter. I think if you just bank on him being a shooter, it's a problem. I think he's a really, really good all-around player. I think the other part of the game, Rayhan picked up his 4th foul, I think, at 15:02, and he played the entire well, they set him for a little bit, then they put him back in when we went on our run. If we could have gotten him out of the game, it would have been a totally different game, and we could never get that 5th foul on him. If we could have gotten him out of the game, it would have been a totally different ball game.
Any more questions for Coach Wade?
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Salt Lake, you guys been Utah, all you guys, you've been a great host. We appreciate it, and thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Coach Wade. Congratulations on your season. Zippy working tonight? That's about right. I come up and he goes, how's he going down?